Hello students, let's start with exercise number 10. Let's begin with question number 2. Question number 2 says, y varies as t. Before we move ahead with the question, we need to understand the meaning of varies as. This means when y increases, t also increases. Or when y decreases, t also decreases. So, we need to understand that this increase or decrease is not random. It is in a certain proportion. Just like if I have number of guests coming over for a party. So, the cost of the party will be as per the number of guests. If the number of guests will reduce, the cost of the party will reduce in the same proportion. Or if the number of guests will increase, the cost of the party will increase in the same proportion. To understand what we mean by proportion, we will go further into the question. The question says, when y is 6, t is equal to 4. So, if we divide y by t, we get 6 divided by 4, which is 3 divided by 2. Now, this ratio is known as the constant because however the value of y increases or however the value of t increases correspondingly, when the two values will be divided, they will always have the ratio 3 by 2. Moving on further with the question, now we need to write varies as in a mathematical way. So, y varies as t. So, this is the mathematical symbol for varies as. We can further write this as an equation y is equal to kt. Alright, now we can find the value of k by dividing y by t. In our question, we have already found the value of k earlier. Alright, this is known as constant. And the reason why this is constant is, as we discussed, when the value of y increases and correspondingly the value of t increases and the values are divided, they will have the same ratio and the value remains constant. Okay, so the part A of the question says, find the value of y when t is equal to 6. So, what is the value of y when t is equal to 6? Now, we can start with this equation and copy it down here. Y is equal to kt. Now we can plug in the values that are given to us. We are given that t is equal to 6 and k is equal to 3.2. We can write that as 1.5 into 6, which is equal to 9. Alright, so that answers the first part of our question. Let's go to the part B. The part B says, find the value of t. So t is equal to what? When y is 4. So y is 4. Again, we start with the same equation as we can plug in our values into this and find the unknown. So, starting with y is equal to kt, we will plug in the values. We are given y as 4 We know that k is 1.5 and t is our unknown. We can make t the subject and divide 4 by 1.5 and we get the value of t as 2 2/3 and that's our final answer.